What's up? What's good? What's going on? What's popping? It's your dog. Tidy checking in with a live stream today. I know it's been a little minute since I made a video, been on YouTube or a live stream, but man, my work schedule lately been having me kind of hella busy. And when I get done working, I've been tired lately. But found time to do it today because there have been like a lot of Falcons. Y'all know I like to, dig in these YouTube streets. Yes, I said streets. Y'all know I like to dig in these YouTube streets, these internet streets, these Twitter streets, and check the temperature of the streets. See what the streets saying. There have been a lot of topics that I've been wanting to discuss with everybody and talk about. But again, I just have not been able to make the time recently. So I had some free time now. So you know what, man, let's go ahead and talk about what's been going on in the Falcons community. So we're gonna talk about uh an array of things. You know, hear y'all opinion, y'all hear my opinion, and we just gonna keep it player like that. So we're gonna start off. What we're gonna talk about, right? Something that I've been seeing a lot on on Twitter and in Atlanta Falcons groups and whatnot, and that's bringing Mohamed Sanu back to the Falcons. The first question I had when I saw that was, for what? What purpose is he gonna serve in 2023 for the Falcons? For what? And that was my first question. That was my first thought that popped in my head when I seen that chatter. Like, bringing him back for what? What is he gonna do? I'm like, for what? That was my first, like, for what? What are we bringing him back for? And now Sanu has been campaigning a lot lately to come back to the Falcons. He has been doing his campaigning on his social media, and I guess the Falcons fans picked up on it, and they've been campaigning too. My question again, for what? If anybody that's watching this can give me a plausible reason, a logical reason, or good reason, I swear I'm more than willing to hear it. But I mean, for what? What will we be bringing Sanu back for? That part, I mean, what for what? For what? What element is he adding to the team? Like, what is he gonna do for us? Sanu about to be 34 years old in a few months. 34 years old. I mean, the last did Sanu even play last year? The last 2 years, I mean, he really haven't given no team any kind of production. He's bounced around from team to team to team, and what are we bringing him back for? Because he was a Falcons favorite? That that don't bode well for the direction the team is trying to go in. Like, so we're just gonna bring back all the old fan favorites and just recycle these old ass players? Like, y'all, I get it. We are notoriously a bad franchise, but let's stop being a charity house. Let's just stop being a place for these old washed up players. And I say that with all respect due to Sanu. I'm not trying to diss him when I say that. I'm using washed up as a figure of speech on how we talk about players that no longer have the production that they've had early in their career. So if Sanu happened to see this, no disrespect, but I'm asking, like, let's stop this thing of bringing these washed up players in here to get this final check with the Falcons. Like, why? For what? Like, what are we bringing Sanu back for? Let me check it. Let me look at the check-ins, and then, man, I always forget to turn my phone down. And then we'll go back to this conversation. Facebook user said, bring Mike Vick back. Well, you know, if we're gonna bring Sanu back, we might well bring Vick back. If we bring a Sanu back, might well bring old Mike Vick back. Let him grace the sidelines of the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Let him and Bijan and Young Ho Koo fight over the number 7, the rights to the number. Might as well. Might as well. I said today, we might well bring my boy Devontae back. Is that what we doing? And we just bringing old, you know, washed up players back. Bring Vic back. Bring Devontae. Hell, bring Matt back. Bring Matt Ryan back. Shit. If that's what we doing, bring Abe back. Go get Brett Grimes and his outspoken wife. You know, she was entertaining. She was fine too, and she was very into bring old Brett Grimes back. You know, that's what we. Somebody called Tony G, said he want to come back and get a check. You know, anybody talk to Julio lately? If that's what we doing, bring all the old washed up guys back. Bring them on back. Come on back. So yeah, hey, Facebook user, might well bring Mike Vick back. Might well. David in the building. How you doing today, bro? What's going on? My man's Winston Thornton is in the building. What's going on with you, Winston? How you doing today, player? Travis says, like and subscribe, you desperate. Hey, appreciate it, Travis. Yes, please, y'all like and subscribe, man. It helps out the channel a lot. Helps the video go to different places. Even you thespians who can't stand the SHIT I talk, if y'all go sit here and watch the videos, at least hit the like button. You know, even the thespians, like Travis said, hit the like button, man. We greatly appreciate it, man. So go ahead and hit the like. Do your dog a favor, man. It really helps out the channel, man. It helps out the growth. So just hit that like button, man. It don't cost you a dime. It only costs 0.0 seconds of your time. So just hit that like button, man. Thank you. David Stark says bringing back Sanu a bad idea. Yeah, terrible idea. What is he gonna do? Like what is he gonna do? I mean, Sanu was never like the fastest wide receiver in the world, but now he's a lot older. I don't think people realize how long ago 2016 was in football years, bruh. Now I know it was a bad way to end the year for us because of the Super Bowl, so it's still fresh on our minds. But I don't think people realize how long ago 2016 was in football years. Dog, you talking about 7 years. In football years, man, that's a long time. That's a long time. Even if you want to go say, well, let's 2017. Still 6 years. That's still a long time in football years. Most NFL players don't even have a 6-year career. That's a long time in football years, man. A long time. Long time. James Holloway says a wide receiver coach. You know what, James? I responded to that in our group, man. Like, I seen somebody propose the idea of bringing Sanu back, and I'm like, no, why were you gonna do that? You know, and I think they said to coach the young wide receivers up. I'm like, well, if you're gonna do that, you hire him as an assistant wide receiver coach. That way he can coach the young wide receivers. He could be their quote unquote mentor as well. But you don't give him a roster spot for a washed up player and let him count against the salary cap. Even if it's only the vet minimum, that's still count against our salary cap. That's still taking up a roster spot for a guy who could possibly give us some good production. So how is that benefiting the Falcons to be a charity case to Sanu? You know, Sanu done made a SHIT load of money in his career. He's not even 40 years old yet. He should never have to technically work another day in his life. Not saying he won't, but I'm saying have to. Y'all know, like us, we got to get up and go to work every day. You know what I'm saying? He can get up and go on vacation every day. Two different lifestyles. But like, and that's what I was saying, James. Like, if you want to bring it back, I ain't got no problem with that. I like Sanu. You know what I'm saying? I like Sanu. I know he was a fan favorite. I liked him on the team. You know, I liked how he played. I liked his downfield blocking. But that day, that era is over. So if we do want to bring it back, hire him as an assistant wide receiver coach. Again, that way it's not counted against our salary. He can still serve the same role that he would if he was on the team, but now he's not counting against the salary cap, and he's not taking up a roster spot from a younger guy who could possibly give us something this year, possibly give us something the next few years. So I don't understand, man. Like, the thrill is gone. Thrill is gone. We got 12 on the roster already. Why? Facebook users. That's what I've been trying to figure. Like, why y'all? What we bringing him back for? To do what? So, man, much respect to Mohamed Sanu, bro. But he those days are over. I don't want to keep saying he washed, but y'all know that's just sports people slang. And I don't really want. I kind of want to say it referring to him because I like the Sanu. I remember the offseason that we got Sanu, and that's when they used to have a draft party at the Georgia Dome. I remember going to the Georgia Dome, and they brought Sanu out. They had just signed him. They brought him out to address us out in the crowd. And one of the first things he said, and never forget it, he said, "You know what, Atlanta, I came here to win y'all a Super Bowl." And I'm sitting there like, I like this guy already. He said, "Atlanta, I came here to win y'all a Super Bowl." And I'm like, dang, I like this dude. I like his mentality. I like his confidence. So anybody who went to that draft party that year at the Georgia Dome, you know, y'all heard him say the same thing. I came here to win Atlanta Super Bowl. So I like him too. But bringing him back, no. Like, somebody go find Algie Crumpler. Since we're gonna bring back all the all the past Falcons that people like. Matty T in the building. What's going on with you, Matty? How's it going? How's it going? Facebook, you said I missed all the hoopla. How did this get started? Well, Sanu has been like campaigning to come back to Atlanta, right? He's been doing it for months because I be on Twitter, and his I be seeing his tweets. So he been like kind of slick commenting for months about coming back to Atlanta. In fact, let's look at some of his most recent tweets real quick. Let's look at some of the most recent tweets. Is that one? Hold on just a second, y'all. I'm gonna pull it up and we'll look at it, and you'll see how it got started. Just a moment. There we go. So that tweet right there, that's one of his tweets that he put out in regards to coming back to Atlanta. Let me read that. The first tweet was from Miles Garrett, who covers the Falcons. It says former Falcons wide receiver and fan favorite Mohamed Sanu seems to be open for a Falcons reunion. Somebody in the comments said, "Real talk, I would love for Julio Jones or Mohamed Sanu to come back and be wide receiver 3 and give these young guys some knowledge." Mohamed Sanu replied right down here. He says, "I couldn't agree more." So he on his campaign right now, trying to come back. And then he replied again. He actually did a straight. That was a comment. Then he tweeted, "I'm here for it," with his face in a GIF or a GIF, however you say that. So he campaigning right there to come back. And then let's look at another one here that he had here. Also, let's stop sharing that one. He got like a good bit of tweets coming back to the Falcons. Here's one right here. And this is something Sanu retweeted. It says, "Dear Atlanta Falcons, I think it would be a huge move to add Mohamed Sanu to the wide receiver room, as suggested by whoever. That man can lead and he can catch the rock in big spots. Love your pal Heels." Sanu retweeted that, and this was on March 20th, 2023. So not even a month ago. So Sanu been on a campaign trail to get back to Atlanta. There's another one also here that I pulled up. If I can find it. I think this is it. Let's look at that one. Here's another one that Sanu retweeted. It says, now the Falcons add in draft. Hold on. Now if the Falcons add in the draft and bring back Sanu, the receiver group will be perfect. Sanu retweeted this. This is after the signing of Scotty Miller. So, of course, the Falcons fans who follow Sanu or see these tweets, you know, they see it and then they get on the train, and you know how it go. Once people see some other people on the train, they get on the train, and then before you know it, it's like one of the trending topics on Falcon social media. Oh, bring Sanu back, bring Sanu back, bring Sanu back. Like for what? What we gonna bring him back for? Like I don't feel like you bring back washed up players to the roster just to mentor young guys. Now, if I feel like Sanu still has some football in him, I'll be all for it. But I don't feel like he got no conducive football in him that's left. He about to be 34 this summer. I just don't want to be giving guys contracts just to give it to them because they were fan favorites. Like, no. As we used to say, where they do that at? Like, for what? What we doing that for? Russ in the bill says, Sanu grew up 10 minutes from where I did. We played against his team in high school. I followed his entire journey. Great dude off the field, too, but no reunion wanted from me. Yeah, great dude. Great dude. And you could just tell that, like, from his interaction, like, with the fans and, like, how he carries himself. I still remember that one video he had that went viral with him and his son. So definitely a great dude. Definitely a great dude. That's why I'm so hesitant to use the word washed up, because I don't want to be disrespectful to him, because I always liked Sanu. I remember I used to, when he was in Atlanta back when we were winning, on Sundays, I remember I used to always go to his Instagram, like, man, let me see what cleats Sanu gonna be rocking today, because he's always had a custom cleats, and he was always interacting with fans. So I mean, I like Sanu. You know, he is one of the Falcons that have left here that everybody seems to like. You know, not everybody likes all the Falcons that end up leaving here. You know, not everybody likes Mike Vick. Not everybody likes Matt Ryan. Not everybody likes Julio Jones. Not everybody likes Devontae Freeman. Not everybody likes Canu Neal. But everybody seems to like Sanu and Roddy. You know, everybody seems to like Sanu and Roddy. So and Abe. A lot of fans feel like Abe got a raw deal by the new administration. But no, we can't be in the business of bringing old guys back that will that we like as fans. Like, no, we gotta be a bigger franchise than that, y'all. That I don't see the rhyme nor the reason for doing that. Bring back Paul Warloo. Yeah, might well bring back Warloo, man. I think Warloo probably younger than Sanu, I'm guessing. How old is Warloo? Like maybe 29, 30, 31, I'm guessing, something like that. Might well bring back Warloo. If we just going down memory lane, reminiscing, bring back Paul Warloo. Might as well. Might as well. My guy, Smitty Sports Machine is in the building. How you doing today, bro? What's happening with you? And for those of you who may not be subscribed, make sure you click on his profile. Make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. Run up the likes, run up the comments. But I'm sure most people already subscribed to him anyway. But shout out to you, bro. Smitty said, anybody seen Billy Joe Tolliver? Mr. Hail Mary himself. Hey, go get Billy Joe back. See if we can just bring him in the game and throw the Hail Marys. You know, like he threw that. He probably, I'm gonna say probably, he threw the most famous Falcons Hail Mary in franchise history when he hit Michael Haynes to beat the 49ers. Okay, go bring Billy Joe back. Travis said he was with Miami for a month last year and had 15 catches in 2021 for San Francisco, 18 catches in the last 3 years. Nah, can't do it. Can't do it. Yes, like Smith say, subscribe. It's free. Don't cost a dime. Just cost a little bit of your time. Won't hurt you at all. Appreciate it, bro. John Higgins in the building. How you doing, John? Says, I'm with you. I don't want any of these old guys. Let's stay young. And what's happening with you? What's going on, John? How you doing, hey, bro? Yeah, John. And like I say, man, it's ain't no situation with me where I got any ill feelings towards Sanu. I just feel like, hey, why we need to do that? Now, if they want to hire him as an assistant wide receiver coach, yeah, come on, bring him on here. Please, definitely do that. That's not going to count against the cap. He ain't taking a roster spot, so I'm all for that. But no, we can't be in business, y'all. Just like letting these old players come and get that one last check. Because we've been doing that for a while in Atlanta. We got to get past that. We got to get past being that final destination spot before you cash on out and retire. No, man, like no, let's be bigger than that. Davis' average NFL career 3.5 years, 6 or 7 years of a lifetime in football years. That's a long time, bro. I don't think people realize how long that is in football years, man. That's 6, 7 years in football years. That's a long time. I'm talking about you could be in your early to mid 20s, 7 years later, you in your 30s. You're on the other side of 30. And unless you're a quarterback, when you're on the other side of 30, we know what that means. We know what that means. Matt T says, I don't think it was a diss on Skornoski. Every team has their views on players, and we weren't a fan of his. Not everybody's going to like you. All right, so that will segue us into our next topic that we'll talk about real quick. Here, we're going to talk about Peter Skornoski, the comments that he made about the meeting, interview, whatever you want to call it, with our head coach Arthur Smith. So we'll talk about that. We'll look at it as well. Skornoski, Peter Skornoski says Arthur Smith told him, "You're really boring me," in a combine interview. So it don't seem like that interview went all that well. I don't know, like what was that about? I ain't never heard no kind of feedback like that. Like, you're boring me. Like, did they have a personality clash, or was Arthur Smith joking? Has there been any follow up about that situation? Like, did it come out Arthur Smith was just joking with him, or I don't know. It seemed like most times when Arthur Smith say something, he really means it. So, I'm assuming like I don't know, but let's see what Skornoski said. We'll read it off. We'll read a quote here. It says, the head coach was, and this is Peter Skornoski talking. The head coach was on me the second I got in there, Skornoski said. I was giving them generic answers to their questions, and he said, you're really boring me right now. Your answers are so boring. The whole meeting, he kept looking at his computer. I was kind of laughing to myself and said, sorry, I don't know what you want me to do. I'm answering you honestly. So, like, what was that about? Like, dang. Arthur Smith told him he boring him. Like, I found that interesting, man. So you're like, y'all share your thoughts on that part of it. Like I said, was it a personality clash, or was neither side just not interested in either side, and they both sides were just doing it as a formality, or was he just really boring the fuck out of Coach Smith? That's kind of crazy to see that. John Bruce says, what's up, Ty? That went mine. Sanu coming back to our facts. What's up with you, Big John? Y'all also make sure to do me a favor. Click on John's profile and make sure to give him a follow. Run the likes up. Run the comments up. Shout out to you, John. Again, I like Sanu as a person a whole lot, John, but what could he offer the Falcons? And if you're saying he could offer them coaching and mentorship, he can do that as an assistant coach. I just don't think we need to be in the business of giving up roster spots to players that we liked when they were here. Because at that point in time, we're making decisions with our heart and not our head. You know, like that old saying about betting. Hey man, you don't never bet with your heart, you bet with your head. So as fans, I think we got to start separating ourselves from that sentimental aspect of things when it comes to what's best for the team. And I just don't see a true benefit in bringing him back. Facebook you says, "What's up, bro? Put some smoke in the air. I live in the wartime. We need to have a smoke sometimes. Hit me up, man. As you can see, I love having me a good cigar. I'm actually smoking on an ATL cigar, y'all. This is a company out of Atlanta. As you see, they got their own cigar. This is Good Trouble. So, yeah, just hit me up, man. There's a cigar lounge in the wartime. I like having me some cigars, as you already know. Shout out to the wartime. Shout out to the 478. John Harris is in the building. What's up with you, John? Now, what is this about Julio coming back? Bring everybody back, John. In fact, damn it, bring back Smitty. Not our Smitty, the YouTube Falcons content creator Smitty, Coach Smitty, Mike Smith. Bring back Smitty and let him teach Arthur Smith and coach and mentor Arthur Smith. John says, we bringing everybody back? Bring back Arthur Smith. But no, all BS aside, man, Julio and Matt Ryan should come back to sign their one-day contract and retire as a Falcon. Nothing past that. Because I know what John said. I be seeing people say, well, bring Julio back. Bring him back for what? So he can go an hour in Atlanta and get some checks. Julio done made a whole lot of money. He made way more money than Sanu have. Bring him back for what? And I've always been a big Julio fan, but what bring him back for what? Because some fans miss him. He ain't 2015, 2016 Julio no more, y'all. Man can barely stay healthy. He can barely stay healthy. We can't bring Jones back. He dissed us hard. I was a big fan of Jones too. Julio left the sour taste in a lot of fans, man. Mike says, I'm from Georgia, so is he, but to me, his time has passed. I could not agree with you more, my friend. I'll grab Shaq Barrett, defensive end linebacker. At least see you at least talking about somebody who could come in and help the team. You know what I'm saying? You ain't talking about bringing somebody back for sentimental value. Like I'm not with that at all. Matty T says, do you see us having any primetime games this year after all the moves we made? Yeah, I could see them want to maybe pair up, put the Carolina Atlanta game on TV, possibly. NFL will try to market some of their upcoming young talent. Bryce Young, Bijan Robinson. I could see it. The Falcons have really been rebranded at this point. Got a lot of young guys on the team who could potentially, one of them could potentially become a superstar. Once again, Bijan Robinson, Kyle Pitts, Drake London, maybe Desmond Ridder. Then you got Bryce Young. Bryce Young has a huge fan base, so I can see them putting that game on TV. Once says Paul Warlow is 33. Okay, so he older than I thought. Goldberg. Bring back Goldberg. That's a good one. Bring back old girl Goldberg. Brett Favre. Hell, let's bring back Favre and let's get his old teammate in Atlanta prime time shit while we bringing everybody back. Somebody go tell Dion, like, I'm sorry, I know you're in Colorado now doing your thing, Coach Prime and all that stuff, but we need you back in the A. Atlanta misses you. So somebody get Dion on the phone, somebody, and see if we can get him back. Chris Miller too. We need a backup. Hell, Money Matt Bryant. Bring back all the old fan favorites, man. Bring them all back. Bring them all back. David says, if he didn't want to draft Skornoski, fine, but don't sit up there and arrogantly say something like that as if you're Bill Belichick. 7-10 seasons doesn't give him the right to do that. Man, you make an excellent point, bro. That's actually what I was thinking. I'm like, damn, coach, like, this is Ricky about to end in the NFL. If you don't want to draft him, just say you don't want to draft him. But as David is saying, you acting like you Belichick. Like you don't want 5, 6, 7, 8 Super Bowls. Like you got 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 winning seasons under your resume. Coach Smith, got a lot of respect for you. Love my team, but a lot of people think your offensive coaching philosophy and scheme is very boring. I've heard that a lot. From because a lot of times you do have to listen to what people outside of the fan base say. And I try to pride myself in doing that, try to listen to all the good and bad people who are not Falcons fans say. When you listen to people talk outside this fan base, a lot of them think that Coach Smith has a very boring, old school style of offense. And a lot of people question if it's going to be effective in 2023 modern day football. But you make a great point, David. It's like Coach Smith, like, hey, you my guy and everything, but like, who are you at this point? I know your daddy got like $5-6 billion, but what have you done in the NFL at this point as a head coach? You could potentially been talking SHIT at the next Anthony Munoz. Who knows? So it came off as it's kind of a little weird to me. Be honest, it was a little weird. My guy Anthony Moss is in the building. What's up with you, Ant? I think maybe Arthur was trying to peel the layers back and get to know the player behind the PC professional answers and figure out his real personality. That's very plausible. Maybe he was trying to do some psychology on him. Hey, loosen up, kid. Loosen up. Where you like to hang out at? What's your favorite beer? Maybe so. Are you an Xbox or PlayStation guy? Are you a Tupac or Biggie guy? Are you a I don't know who the Lil Durk who Lil Durk have issues with? See, yeah, I'm showing my age. I don't know the younger rappers. Lil Durk and Young Boy. Yeah, I know I'm getting old, man. I have to think about it. Tupac and Biggie in my time, but Jay-Z and Nas. I don't know about the younger generation, but that's possible. John Higgins said, "Yeah, Todd. I think that's exactly what that was, personality clash, and I can see that. Maybe it was just a personality clash. When you have two different personalities that clash, like, it be like that sometimes. It's like that sometimes. My guy, Uncle Steve, well, my old Uncle Steve is in the building. Y'all know what to do. Make sure to click on the profile picture. If you're not already subscribed, make sure to subscribe to my old uncle's YouTube channel. Run the comments up. Run the likes up. Definitely appreciate it. Uncle Steve says, my brother, man, Arthur Smith got that tick trigger in him. He is set off easily. Yes, he is. He probably was bored with Sanu. With Sanu, some fans want all the 2016 team back. Yes, even bring back old Goat Freeman reference. I remember what that was, 2017. Our backs was against the door, looked like we might not make the playoffs, and we needed to beat, I think it was Tampa. Old Goat gave us like over 200 all-purpose yards that game and carried us to the playoffs. Old Goat, boy, old Goat Freeman. Hey, bring Devontae back. Bring the Goat back. We bringing everybody back. Bring old Goat Freeman back, who rightfully should have been the Super Bowl MVP if we don't change our offensive philosophy in the second half. Just keep giving Devontae the ball. He wanted a new contract. Well, damn it, make him earn it that day. Like, son, if you want that new contract, You gonna earn it in the Super Bowl because we about to give you the ball 30 times. I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna talk that Super Bowl, man. We've talked that ad nauseum. John says, us as ATL fans, we have to stop falling in love with these players. Nothing lasts forever. Yes, sir. You gotta stop falling in love with them, man. Got to. And that brings me back. Let's segue to something else, John. That brings me back to like, Steve spoke on this too on his show last week, and also Smitty spoke on it as well when we started talking retiring jerseys. And I'd be like, listen, y'all, like you'll hear people or you'll see people say, man, why they ain't retired Vic jersey yet? For what? Why does Vic deserve to get his jersey retired? And hey, much love, much respect to Michael Vick. I'm not dissing, I'm not being personal. But what has Vic done to get his jersey retired? Well, you know, he put Atlanta on the map. No, he didn't put Atlanta on the map. Atlanta already been on the map before Vic got here. Before Vic was even born, Atlanta was on the map. Now, did he help take the brand to a different audience? Yeah, he did, but he did not put us on the map. Well, you know, he had to sit on fire when he was here. Okay, that's Atlanta, bro. That's Atlanta. There's plenty of people that had to sit on fire. On the field, what has Vic done to get his jersey retired? Man, they need to. Vic jersey should have been retired. For what? Michael, once you peel back the layers, Michael Vick only started in Atlanta for 4 years. He only started in Atlanta for 4 years. He only won 2 playoff games. Never won a Super Bowl. What are we retiring that number for? But that be people's heart. Well, that was my favorite player. I just want to see my favorite player. That's what they're not saying. He's my all-time favorite Falcon. I'm my all-time favorite player, and I want to see him shown respect this way. That's what they're not saying. But his accomplishments on the field as a Falcon does not merit him getting his jersey retired. My all-time favorite Falcon is Roddy White. He was here more than double the amount of time Vic was. You ain't never finna see me say, well, we need to retire Roddy jersey. For what? For what? Why? Did Roddy bring a Super Bowl here? And Roddy, my boy. That one person you really ain't gonna never hear me saying that bad about. If y'all ain't noticed, is Roddy. And maybe Devontae. But you know, Steve be hating on Devontae all the time. So I have to defend Devontae. And also, speaking of, like, another reason I defend Devontae a lot, because I really don't like the fact the fan base, some of the fan base, tried to make him the scapegoat for the Super Bowl. So, like, I be wanting people like, man, be fair. Yeah, Devontae missed the block, but we just choked as a team. And a lot of people, you know, you got to have a scapegoat when you blow a lead like that. So a lot of people try to make Devontae the scapegoat. And so I come to his defense. But even Matt Ryan, well, you know, you got to, you know, Matt Ryan gave his blood, his sweat, his tears to this team, to this city, 14 years. Greatest quarterback we ever had, greatest Falcon we ever had. Okay, cool. We gave him $300 million. It was a mutual beneficial relationship. It's not like Matt was playing here and he was giving us contract breaks. You know, he was giving us hometown discounts. Matt Ryan set 3 different contract records in Atlanta. Rookie contract as a quarterback. Second contract was a record-breaking contract. Third contract in Atlanta was record-breaking contract. So it's not like he was just giving money back. Say, hey, man, y'all, I need y'all to get me a better team. And nothing against Matt, but look, when it comes to the all-time greatest Falcons in history, Matt Ryan is on that list, without a doubt. Now, if you got Julio in front of Matt, or you got Dion in front of Matt, or you got Matt in front of both of them, okay, cool. I know everybody top 3, top 4, maybe top 5 ain't gonna be different, Well, you talking about all-time greatest Falcons? Matt Ryan has to be in the top 5. Period. He got to be in the top 5. Probably in the top 3 if we just keeping it real. When you talking about greatest, I'm not saying the most talented. I'm saying greatest. Matt Ryan has to be top 3, top 5. But let's peel back the layers. 14 years. 4 playoff victories. 28-3. Why are we retiring that number 4? For what? For what? And I done got to the point now as a fan, and maybe it's my old age, but I be wanting us to raise our expectations as fans, And I know it's some smart ass. Well, you just a fan. You don't make no decision. Yeah, that's true. But you still can have personal expectations as a fan. To me, when you retire a jersey, that's something more times than not that should be reserved for champion. Super Bowl champion, retired jersey. Super Bowl, like if we'd have won against the Patriots, Super Bowl champion Matt Ryan has his jersey retired in Atlanta on November 10th, 2026. I'm cool with that. Because in front of his name is Super Bowl champion. If we beat the Patriots, if they come out and say Super Bowl champion, Julio Jones has his jersey retired by the Falcons on November 17th, 2026, I'm cool with that. Champion. I be want our expectations to be raised up. There are different circumstances where I feel like you might not have to be a champion. Rest in peace, a situation like Sean Taylor. Okay, that's different. Or if you just played at such an extremely high level. Extremely high level. Barry Sanders, Detroit Lions retire his jersey. I'm more than cool with that. Barry Sanders was way up here. I mean, way up here. I'm cool with that. Because he was just so talented, and Barry Sanders was always one of the best running backs in the league all 10 years of his career, even as a rookie. I'm cool with that. But it got to be something like that. It got to, the same thing with statues. To me, only champions and statues or the situations like we just talked about. You got to have some kind of hellified accomplishment if you ain't a champion. Let's use Hank Aaron, for example. Hank Aaron broke probably the most prolific record in pro sports. Home run champion. Okay, I'm cool with that. Because that's, like I said, one of the most prolific records any did as a Brady. I'm cool with it, but it got to be something of that ilk. Other than that, if it wasn't that unfortunate that happened, even those bagheads ain'ts, when they were retired, I forget his name. But he got ill. I think he was their punter. First game after Katrina, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. But our fan base, we want to get Matt a statue and retire his jersey. We want to get Julio a statue and retire his jersey. Like, listen, y'all. We love Matt, we love Julio, but raise your expectations. If we just giving out statues and retired jerseys, then what's going to separate the champions when we finally get the champions from the non-champions? And like, okay, I'm about to make some of my Atlanta Hawks fans mad, but here we go. When they announced that Dominique was going to get a statue, I didn't like that. I didn't feel like he deserved one. And I just told you why. Champion. Yeah, Neat, the all-time greatest Hawk until Trae Young takes that distinction if he stays with the Hawks long enough. One of the greater players in his era. I just didn't feel like the accomplishments was there. I'm sorry. Now, if they wanted to, and they might have already done it, but if they wanted to retire Dominique's jersey, I might could have went with that. But a statue, I'm like, Dominique never even the Hawks never even got to the finals with Dominique, much less win a NBA championship. Like what are y'all doing? Like what are y'all doing? Champions. That's some champions. Like you reserved for champions. Michael Jordan statue at the United Center. 6-time champion. Yeah. Yeah, of course MJ get one. They ain't even gave Scottie Pippen down. But you know what? I respect Chicago for that. They got high standards. They got high expectations. Like, we just ain't gonna give nobody no statue. So when the Hawks first announced that, I was going back and forth with Hawks fans, like, man, bro, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. You know, not no statue. If you want to put something inside the arena for him, you know, cool. But a statue? I don't know about that, bro. I don't know about that. Like you go to Staples Center, Shaq statue outside of Staples Center, champion. Magic Johnson outside of Staples Center, champion. Rest in peace to Kobe, but he a 5-time champion in LA. He still ain't got his yet. But we know it's coming. He gonna one day eventually get it. But that's just what I'm saying. Like, it ain't like they went and rushed to make Kobe a statue and put it out there, even after he passed away. Again, rest in peace to Kobe. But that's the level of expectations from a super winning, prestigious franchise to a one who isn't used to winning. So I just want the Falcons to have these higher standards. Everybody shouldn't get their jersey retired. Now, if you want to stop issuing out Matt Ryan's jersey like they've done Barkowski, y'all notice don't nobody wearing number 10. You want to stop issuing out the jersey? Fine. Cool. You don't want to issue it out for 5, 10, 15, 20 years? Okay, I'm cool with that. If you don't want to wear nobody, you don't want nobody to wear number 11? Okay, I'm cool with that. But man, when you start retiring jerseys for guys who only won four playoff games in 10 plus years, I don't know, bro. Yeah, I know they are some of our greatest players ever. But what's going to separate the champions when we finally get them from the guys who always choke? What's going to separate the champions? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years from now, when we finally get our Super Bowl, how this going to look when you got the champion get his jersey retired with the non-champion? You giving the champion a statue outside the bins with the non-champion. Like, raise the expectations. Braves giving Chipper Jones a statue outside Truist? Cool. You want to get Freddie Freeman one when he retire? Fine. They're champions. Got no problem with that. They did it. Georgia Bulldogs want to retire number 13. Bill Stetson being a statue outside their facilities. Run with it. Let me know in advance. I'm going to try to make it Athens. I want to see it. You want to do the same for Jalen Carter? Retire at 88? Give him a statue? Right outside there with Uga? Run it. Let's get it. They deserve it. 2-time champions. They restored the faith to the Bulldogs. But non-champions, yeah. Let me catch up with the comments, y'all. My bad. Y'all know when I start ranting, I be ranting. But yeah, that's my opinion on it, man. You know, that's my opinion. I got my guy Larry in the building from the Dixon Way. Y'all make sure to click on the profile. Make sure to subscribe to my dog channel, man. He does a lot of in-game live streaming. So make sure to subscribe, run the comments up, run the likes up. What's up with you, Larry? But yeah, I agree. Statues are for champions. Champions. Yes, champions. Guys who got some bling on their fingers. Champion. My dog Star Falcons is in the building. Says, what's good, T? I came here to bang. I'm banging on fans that want non-champions to get statues. Star. What's happening with you, brother? Larry, what the Dixon way says, I just hope I see a championship for the Falcons before I'm warm for me and you too, man. Me and you too. Stephen Gibbons, what's up with you? Steve says Nigel got and deserved the statue. I think they're supposed to say Neek. My bad. Neek got and deserved the statue for the absolute bullshit the Hawks pulled on him. Plus, he is a Hall of Famer. Yeah, but I mean, do Hall of Famers just deserve statues? I mean, really? Do the Knicks give Patrick Ewing a statue just because he's a Hall of Famer? And let's be real, man. The Basketball Hall of Fame, it's not hard to get in. The Basketball Hall of Fame is rather easy compared to NFL, Major League Baseball. It ain't compared to the other two major sports. Basketball Hall of Fame ain't hard to get into because the NBA don't have a Hall of Fame. They just got a Basketball Hall of Fame. So they're looking at your whole entire career. So I don't know, man. Like, I don't know if you get one just for being a Hall of Famer, man. If that's the case, boy, a lot of teams owe a lot of players for statues, man. If that's the case, a lot of teams owe a lot of players some statues. My dog Dom is in the building. What's up with you, bro? How's it going? Ron Thomas checking in. What's happening with you, big Ron? David Starr says the Hammer actually won a championship with the Braves. They were in Milwaukee at the time, but he is a champion. Deserves a statue. Okay. Clarification. I'm even more with it now. Even more with it. Dixon Way says, but I agree statue should be for champions. I'm not mad at Neek getting one because I'm biased, of course. If it wasn't for Neek, the Hawks would have been sold before 1990s. Excuse me, rumors back then. To be honest, I know a lot of people I ain't gonna say a lot. I know I've seen people say the Falcons are gonna be sold, the Hawks gonna be sold, the Braves are gonna be sold. I'm gonna be frank. I feel like Atlanta is always gonna have or always would have a basketball, football, and baseball team because of the market. You're talking the top 10 market here. You're talking about a resourceful state, and you're talking about a city, especially the metro. I know it has grown a lot the last 20 years, but a lot of people visit, a lot of people live. You need Atlanta to have a team. I'm not trying to say none of the Atlanta teams carry anything. You know, we don't have a New York Yankees, we don't have a Los Angeles Lakers, we don't have a Boston Celtics, but Atlanta just one of them cities. Like, there's gonna be some sports here. That's why they keep bringing hockey teams back here. Like we need hockey to stick in Atlanta, man. Yeah, I know y'all some country boys that like football and it be hot as hell then or something, but it's Atlanta. We need it to stick. The same for soccer. Y'all be honest, like, man, we ain't know shit about soccer. I done learned a little bit more now since we got a team, you know, but y'all like soccer. I mean, like, think about your initial reaction when they say, well, Atlanta gonna get a soccer team. You're like, shoot, I don't know none of the rules of soccer. You know what I mean? So I feel like Atlanta's gonna always have teams because it's Atlanta. You know, because it's Atlanta. It's a city with a very rich history. A lot of influential people have rep the city, have done a lot of things nationally, internationally. Atlanta just one of them cities, man. I'm not trying to say it's a hugely populated city when compared to the real true big dogs in America, New York, LA, Chicago, Houston. But once you get past that, Chicago, yeah, Atlanta up there. Atlanta next in line. Kelly says only champion, and what's up, Kelly? Says only champions truly deserve statues. This participation trophy mentality is depressing. Kelly, you feel me, bro? Like that's where I'm at with it. That's where I'm at with it. I'm not saying like that your past greats of your franchise shouldn't be represented in some way, but man, you building statues. It's like, man, that's like you changing the game, especially for non-champions. And I repeat, when the Hawks announced Nick was getting a statue, I was like, Hawks, I don't know about that one, bro. I love Nick. And he entertained me like hell when I was a little kid. Watching him battle Michael Jordan, watching him battle Larry Bird and the Bad Boy Pistons on the Superstation. Mike Fratello, Kevin Willis, but like, man, statue? So like, what's gonna happen when you finally get a champion? What's gonna be the distinction between the champion and the non-champion? I just feel like that's just like that's the highest honor to give an individual player. Somebody like, I'll use Ray Lewis as an example. He brought Baltimore 2 Super Bowls. And I'm not saying he only did it by himself, but I'm just saying he was the catalyst. Ray Lewis, statue. 2 of them. 2 of them. J Black 142 says right side, I believe the same. Lisa in the building. How's it going today, Lisa? How you doing? So the Falcons haven't retired anyone's jersey to date, right? I don't think the Falcons have officially retired any jerseys. I don't think. There's some, I don't want to say controversy, but there's some like mixed data on that. Like the certain people really have their jersey retired. Like some people will say, well, Barkowski's jersey retired, and some people say, well, no, they just don't issue it out. We don't have no retired jerseys. I gotta do some research on it because I've heard 2 different answers. Larry says Dominique Wilkins' number is retired in the statue and never won anything. He never had any help either. Man, Larry, if you know how many debates I done had about that never have any help. And we ain't got the time to do it today, but I would argue some of them Hawks teams, he had more help than Elijah won when Elijah won his too. Dominique was a great player. And I know Hawks fans, they gonna get pissed at me, man. But Dominique had limitations. Like Dominique didn't like to pass the ball. So when people be like, well, he didn't have any help, like, because Dominique wasn't gonna pass it. Dominique was average defender. I don't know. We'll have to do that another day, Larry, because that'll be a long debate on that one. A long debate. Kelly says Matt, the most overrated player in Falcons history. No one has compiled more numbers without accomplishing anything. That's some of the reasons that I'm like, hey, retiring a jersey, putting up a statue, 14 years and only 4 playoff victories, and half the playoff victories came in one season. Hey, but Kelly, you know how the Matt Ryan fans be, man. Like, tunnel vision, super tunnel vision. Facebook user, he's the top. He's been here the longest. Facebook user says Julio, Dion, Tony G, Mike Vick, Maddie. Lisa says we're not retiring a single jersey before this franchise gets a Super Bowl. Exactly, Lisa. That's where I'm at with it, man. Like, let's raise our expectations. I'm not saying we don't have to appreciate and remember our franchise greats, who were like our pioneers, you know what I mean? But come on, man, like everybody don't deserve their number retired. And everybody damn sure don't deserve a statue. Like, let's get the Super Bowl out the way, and then we do that. Going back to the bag heads, like, look, they want to give Drew Brees a statue outside whatever stadium they play in now. Yeah, okay. Like, I can see it. I can see it. Like Drew Brees, him and Sean Payton. Unfortunately for us, he came and just changed the entire trajectory of that franchise, and gave them some, I hate to admit it, some high caliber NFL respect for a number of years, and a Super Bowl. So if they want to hang that little bit ass number 9 up and get that little short motherfucker statue, okay, I can see it. I understand it. But that don't mean Atlanta Falcons, y'all gonna need to do the same for Matt Ryan with no Super Bowls. Drew at least gave him a Super Bowl. That's where I'm at with it, man. It's Lisa says, hey, join late team. So okay, so let's get into it, y'all. That'll be our last segment today. The Verzuz battle. Bad Boy Records versus So Def. Jermaine Dupri versus Puff Daddy. I know now he go by like P. Diddy, Brother Love, or whatever he call himself now. But I know him as Puff Daddy. 90s eras when, I was into rap heavy in high school. So I know him as Puff Daddy. So JD repping ATL, College Park to be exact, versus Puffy repping New York, Harlem to be exact. And I know it's gonna be kind of crazy asking this in a Atlanta-based group, but who y'all got? And don't feel like now, if you think Puffy gonna wash him, you can't say Puffy just because Falcons group and mostly people that reside in Atlanta are in here. So who y'all got? Lisa already told you who she with. She say Team So Def, but they gonna do the verses, man. They're really gonna do the verses. I don't know if it's gonna be truly under that verses umbrella, because there's been some legal stuff going on with verses. And if y'all hadn't noticed, they hadn't did a verses in a while. Or maybe they're just gonna branch out and like, look, we'll just do this out on our own. I'm big enough, you big enough. We don't have to go under that umbrella. Or it may be verses. I don't know. But it's set for September. That's the date that Puffy or Sean Combs said is gonna be on September the 8th. So in fact, let's take a look at it, what he said about it.
I didn't get to talk. Yeah. September 8th in the Garden, nigga, me versus Jermaine. They're gonna have you out the Raptors flying out the sky.
That type of talk. I got the black feathers.
Yeah.
I got the black.
Yeah. All weekend we wearing that shit, nigga. For the rest of our lives.
I got the white one with the dog. Yeah. So nigga look like Jesus Christ just put him up. Yeah. We got the white and the black feathers in the closet. Get into your zone, King. Get into your zone, King. Get into your zone. Get into your zone. Get into your zone. Get in your zone, boy. Get in your zone, boy. Get in your zone, boy.
All right, y'all. So we heard it there. They're gonna do it again on September 8th in Madison Square Garden. I'm gonna go ahead and say this, like, Jermaine, I don't know why you agreed to have it in New York. You ain't, man. I hate to admit it, but with it being in New York, JD not coming out there with no victory. And the reason I say that, even though I think musically Jermaine is way more talented than Diddy musically, you could take Jermaine into a studio and he can give you a song. You don't need 8, 9, 10 people in the studio with him. Puff Daddy, can't say the same for him. But see, one thing about a battle, rap battle, versus battle, MCing, the crowd. Who can move the crowd the best? That's going to be your winner. And if you're going to Madison Square Garden, you're going to Puffy background. I mean, his backyard, excuse me. You going to his backyard. This is like if they did it at the Benz. Oh, you in Jermaine backyard. So we gonna come represent. We ain't finna let Jermaine lose to you on the national stage. Just like the New Yorkers, man. They're like, man, we're not finna let Puffy lose to JD. And they doing this in New York. So I don't know, Jermaine. Like, man, you should have. And I know Puffy was probably thinking the same thing as far as having it in Atlanta. Like, man, I ain't finna like that's your backyard, bro. Like, yeah. Nah, you ain't finna lose in your own backyard. So maybe they should have tried to find a neutral site. I don't know what would be considered a neutral site from New York and Atlanta. Maybe Chicago, maybe Vegas. You know, I think Vegas would be probably the most neutral you can get, and somewhere that could host an event of that magnitude. So probably Vegas or maybe Chicago. I can't say Miami because that's more JD territory. But who y'all got, man? Who do y'all got in the versus battle? Who y'all got? I'm interested to see what everybody thinks on who gonna win. But I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I think it's gonna be dope. Javentus says Stetson Bennett deserves one at UJ. Yeah, he do. I agree. I definitely agree. Yeah, we'll have to debate that on another. Maybe we'll get together and do a show and just do a debate on that one day, bro. Kelly says he didn't have enough help to get past Jordan or Bird. Speaking about Dominique. Wallace, what's up, bro? How you doing today? I'm chilling. Yeah, we'll do it. We'll definitely do it, man. We'll do like Puffy and Jermaine. We'll set up a date. We'll promote it. Steve says JD. Say JD gonna get it. Kelly says JD by 20. The Usher and Mariah records Dustin. I tend to agree with that because when they first started talking about this, when was that, last year? When they started woofing back at each other on social media, I said, man, JD gonna wax Puffy. But Kelly, that's before I knew it was in New York. So with it being in New York, like, y'all know how New Yorkers are when it comes to music, dog. Man, y'all know how New Yorkers are. Y'all know how New Yorkers are when it comes to especially hip hop music. They don't want to get nobody else no shine but their own people. So, Kelly, you think them records gonna hit the same? Because Kelly, you know how battles work, man. It's the crowd. It's whatever moving the crowd. So you are they gonna ice grill Jermaine during his set, and and be over the top when Puffy play his songs? Davis says Christopher Notorious B.I.G. Wallace is the trump card. Nothing JD has done can match him. Okay, so Davis says Biggie gonna be the factor, the X factor. J Black 142 says so deaf for show. So you like JD. Dixon Way Puff had Luda and Jermaine had Luda. Puff had 8-Ball MJG. He did. I don't wait a minute. Puff had Luda. I don't know if Luda was ever signed to Bad Boy, if I can remember. And I don't remember him being signed to So Def either from my recollection. Now I know for sure that 8-Ball and MJG were signed to Puff at one point in time. Not sure that he'll play any of 8-Ball and MJG records though. That were under Bad Boy, because Puff got so many. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what the playlist be. Steven says it's hella difficult to win a chip with a power forward as your best player back then. Basketball was way different back then. Back then you didn't have like the hybrid forwards that like we see now. The game was more condensed inside, and now the game is way outside. I mean, I'm watching the game last night in late fourth quarter, Lakers and the Golden State. I'm like, and I'm like thinking to myself, like, I know y'all got Steph, I know y'all got Clay, but if y'all just run a play and get a good look for a 2-pointer, it'll be beneficial right now instead of just jacking up these 3-pointers that are not going now for Clay and Steph at the time. But live by the 3, die by the 3. That's what they known for. So they, dance with the girl you brought to the party, right? False Start says Drew ain't give them shit. Peyton gave his hometown team that Super Bowl. I don't know about that one, False Start. You know he from New Orleans. I thought Sean Payton was from Texas. And knew they would never make it back. There was no receivers near Tracy Morgan on that pick six. Peyton Manning. Okay, my bad. I thought you were talking about Sean Payton. I'm about to make some more people mad. False start, but Peyton Manning was just being Peyton Manning with that pick, man. Like as great as Peyton Manning was, in the playoffs, he was borderline mid in the playoffs, bro. You go back and look at some of Peyton Manning playoff performances and his numbers. I ain't calling him mid, but he went far from it compared to what you thought he would be based on who he was. I mean, it's on some real shit though. Like, I much as it pains me to say it, man. I really can't take that away from Drew Brees, bro. I just done watch that little short bastard too many times, work my team and work other teams. You know what I'm saying? So you have to give Drew Brees credit for that Super Bowl. I know as Falcons fans, we don't like to give him no credit, but we just keeping it a whole brick. You know, you got to give Brees some credit. That little short motherfucker with it, man. That little bastard was a beast in his prime, man. That boy, that little dude, he could throw that football, and he had some pocket awareness out his ass, man. So, you know, I have to give him their props on that, man. Anthony says people don't realize how much JD contributed to hip hop and R&B, and he didn't have to dance all in the videos, dancing. Come to Death Row. Team So Def. So Anthony says So Def gonna get it. He says So Def got it. Big made Puff, not the other way around. I dig it. Wish we could have had Biggie here longer, man. See how his career would have expanded and how he would have grown as an artist once he hit his 30s. And Big was only 24 when he died. Crazy, man. You know, now that I'm much older, it's like he still was a kid. You know, when he died, I was a teenager, so I looked at him in life differently. But now that I'm in my 40s, like, dog, this dude got killed when he was a kid, basically. Dixon Way said locks. Jay Black says New York not the place. That's what I said, man. Like JD, bro, you should have campaigned for a new arena, bro. Like Madison Square Garden, man. New Yorkers gonna be in there with them Yankees hats and them Timberlands and them Bubba Goose jackets. Well, it's gonna be summertime, but y'all feel what I'm saying, bro. Like they gonna come there to be biased, man. They gonna come there to be biased. Lisa says Puffy was real dismissive when the idea first was talked about him going up against JD. That wasn't cool at all. Yeah, he was a little bit disrespectful, to be honest. Definitely wasn't cool. He tried to play Jermaine like Jermaine didn't have the stature to go up against him, which he definitely do. And I guess at the time, Puffy was trying to get Dr. Dre to do it because I'm assuming he figured that it would be a bigger check for Puffy versus Dr. Dre compared to the check that it generates for Puffy versus JD. But I guess once he saw that Dr. Dre just ain't finna do no versus battle, like, okay, well, I'll go ahead and do it with Jermaine. Kelly says, like Snoop said, we know where we at. We know we in New York. Old Source Awards, man. But that's what it's gonna be for JD. I'll be ready. I hope JD got some New Yorkers that he can bring out, man. Just trying to get some of that bias away because he gonna need it up in New York. Dixon Way said in New York City, it's a wrap, unfortunately. That's what I'm thinking, bro. Like, they need a new territory, man. You just had to find somewhere that can host that event neutral. Hell, go up to Canada if you Canada's still closer to New York. But anywhere but the Madison Square Garden. That's New York, dude. That's New York folks' mecca, man. Like, We're gonna see. Jay Black said to make it canceled. I hope not, man. I'm looking forward to it. I hope it goes through. I hope not. Lisa, yeah, pick a neutral site for the Versus. That makes it more sense to me. Yep. Yep. Like I said, maybe Vegas or maybe Chicago, somewhere like that. Just somewhere a little more neutral. They're just gonna have all that New York bias or all that Atlanta bias also. I'm sure Puff Daddy was feeling the same thing because if you remember initially, Lisa, they was talking about having it at the Falcons Stadium at Mercedes Benz. I guess Puff Daddy was like, no, I can't do that. That's right in your backyard. Can't do that. Eric Park in the building. What's up with you, Eric? How you doing? Lisa said JD's catalog is nuts. Yeah, it is. Especially if he starts playing songs that he actually wrote, because he done wrote a lot of stuff that people don't know about. Lisa said, I may just make the trip to rep So Def. I was thinking about it too, Lisa. I know them tickets price is going to be bananas, but I would love to go, man. I've never been to Madison Square Garden. That's just one of the places that you want to put up, check off your bucket list. I may have to check it out myself. I'll see what the numbers look like once they officially announce it. Anthony says Luda was on Def Jam. Yeah, he was on Def Jam for actually a long time. Dixon Way says Bad Boy South. Lisa says Puffy can't play Biggie in the whole verses. Yeah, you're right. Biggie will give Puffy a couple rounds, but y'all, JD's catalog nothing to play with. Yeah, JD got a nice catalog. He got a nice catalog. Usher, Mariah, he got a nice catalog. Very nice. JD even got a biggest song that he can play that he produced. If he want to get super petty with Puffy, he can play that biggest song that he produced. Let's see. Dixon Way says Dre is Quincy Jones lover producer, not hip hop guy is on his level. No hip hop guys on his level. Maybe DJ Premier. Nah, DJ Premier not even close to Dr. Dre. He not even close. Premier not even close to Dr. Dre. Nowhere close. Nowhere remotely close to Dre. Dre is really on the level of his own, to be totally honest. And I think he really showed that when he did the Super Bowl that not this past season, but the year before that. Just watching him perform and just realizing, like, dang, everybody is under Dr. Dre's tree. All these people is under Dr. Dre's tree. Travis or JD could stroll Mariah out there. I'm sure he will. He gonna need Mariah. He gonna need some star power because he gonna be in New York. Man, y'all know them New York folks, boy. They tough crowd up there, man. Tough crowd. But y'all, we're going on 5 o'clock, man. I ain't want to stay on here too long. Just talk about those few things, man. So I'm gonna let y'all go. As always, man, I appreciate your time. Definitely appreciate the interaction. And what's today? Tuesday. We'll try to get back on maybe Friday, Saturday, Sunday. If anything happens in between time, we'll pop back in. But as I always say, man, I'll see y'all next time I see y'all. Peace.